Nikola Jokić made NBA history with a performance that doesn't just stand out, it stands alone. In Denver's 149-141 overtime victory over the Phoenix Suns, he recorded 31 points, 21 rebounds, and 22 assists. No player in the league's 78-year existence has ever posted those numbers in a single game. This wasn't a statistical oddity, it was a complete takeover of every phase of basketball. What set the night apart wasn't just that Jokić reached those benchmarks, it was how seamlessly he blended them. He didn't score in bunches while sacrificing rhythm, nor did he inflate his assist total through overhandling. His 12 of 20 shooting line reflected balance, not volume. His decisions with the ball weren't flashy, but everyone was purposeful. He understood what each possession demanded and delivered exactly that. Nothing more, nothing less. The rebounding wasn't a matter of size alone. Jokic's positioning was textbook, and his timing was even better. He cut off Phoenix's second chance looks and turned missed shots into instant opportunities going the other way. Several of his rebounds led directly to assists, and some of those assists led to open threes or layups that swung momentum. It's not often that a rebound feels like a playmaking act, but with Jokić, that connection exists. His 22 assists weren't about volume passing, they were about vision. He found cutters before they called for the ball. He passed players open, not just to them. Denver's offense thrives when Jokić becomes the hub, and this game was the clearest example yet. According to league tracking data, more than 80% of his assists led to uncontested shots. That isn't just high-level facilitation, it's orchestration with surgical precision. Michael Malone, Jokic's head coach, said post-game that trying to describe what he saw felt pointless. He's not playing like a center, he's running an offense with the vision of a point guard and the timing of someone who's been in the league for 20 years longer than he has. Phoenix coach Frank Vogel admitted that his team ran through multiple defensive looks but couldn't find a scheme that limited Jokic's influence. You try to trap, he finds the outlet. You stay home, he scores. He reads you like a book before the page even turns, Vogel said. Players around the league noticed too. Paul George tweeted mid-game, "I don't even know what to say anymore." Patrick Beverley simply wrote, 30-20-20, stop playing. Those reactions weren't hyperbole, they were acknowledgement from peers who understand the magnitude of what just happened. What made this performance especially unique was its level of control. Jokić touched the ball more than any other player on the court that night, played 45 minutes, and committed 4 turnovers. That ratio, usage to error, is almost unheard of at the NBA level, particularly when a player is responsible for creating that much of his team's offense. His play didn't just boost his own reputation, it lifted his teammates. Christian Braun and Aaron Gordon both benefited from Jokic's passing, combining for 7 made threes and a dozen points off cuts alone. Jamal Murray operated more freely, often shifting to a scoring role while Jokić dictated spacing and tempo. This game also arrived at a critical moment in the season, with MVP debates intensifying and playoff seedings tightening. A historic performance of this scale reshapes the narrative. Jokić was already a front runner, but this gave voters a signature night that stands out not just among this year's games, but among the best of any era. What makes Jokić so difficult to defend is that there is no singular tactic that works. Trap him and he finds the weak spot, play him one-on-one, and he scores at will, switch, and he creates mismatches for teammates. Most stars dominate one category. Jokić influences all of them without ever needing to dominate the spotlight. Denver's system is designed to maximize that versatility, but what makes it work isn't the scheme. It's the mind behind it. Jokić doesn't force the game. He reads it, he adjusts in real time and never seems rushed. Against Phoenix, he wasn't just productive, he was in control of every sequence, in every quarter, from tip-off to the final buzzer. This wasn't a typical big man performance. It was a blueprint for how to shape an entire game around instinct, vision, and balance. Jokić didn't just check statistical boxes, he reshaped what we thought was possible from a single player. Nikola Jokic's 30-20-20 performance wasn't just a personal milestone, it became an instant inflection point for how teams, analysts, and fans view impact in modern basketball. In a league where statistical feats are often achieved through tempo and volume, Jokic's night stood apart for how calculated, efficient, and impossible it was to replicate. One of the most striking aspects of his stat line was how rarely anything felt forced. He took just 20 shots, none of them in desperation. His 22 assists didn't come from a game plan to chase numbers. They happened because he was the best decision maker on the floor by a wide margin. That's what makes the performance sustainable in theory, but nearly unreachable in practice. Other stars might be able to reach 2 of the 3 columns, but producing that balance at that level is another category entirely. There's a reason no other player has done it. Plenty of legends have touched parts of that stat line. LeBron James has posted 30-point triple-doubles with high assist totals. Wilt Chamberlain once had a 20-20-20 game, though not under modern statistical tracking. Russell Westbrook's triple-doubles were built on relentless energy, but none combined scoring, rebounding, and playmaking in the exact proportions Jokic did, and none did it in a game that mattered as much this late in the season, with MVP voting and playoff positioning on the line. The rarity of this game lies not just in the totals, but in how Jokic executed it within the flow of Denver's system. The Nuggets don't run plays for him in the traditional sense. He operates from the high post, initiates offense with dribble handoffs, and shifts into scoring mode only when spacing or personnel demands it. On this night, Phoenix couldn't decide whether to treat him as a scorer, a passer, or a rebounder. He responded by being all 3 at once. The performance also revealed something critical about Denver's identity. While Jamal Murray is often the team's emotional spark and Aaron Gordon provides the physical edge, Jokic remains the tactical foundation. When he plays like this, the Nuggets don't just win, they become difficult to even strategize against. No other team in the league operates with a center as the offensive initiator, primary decision maker, and interior anchor. That singular structure allows Denver to play with continuity, even under pressure. In the hours following the game, reaction poured in from every corner of the league. Steve Kerr called it the kind of stat line you show your kids in 20 years and they won't believe it. TNT's Kenny Smith noted on air that you'll wait a generation before seeing that again, if ever. The performance dominated news cycles, not because it was flashy, but because it redefined the limits of what a player in Jokic's position can be expected to do. It also forced a broader conversation about his place in the league's hierarchy. As of this performance, Jokic is not just a favorite for MVP, he's the standard. While other candidates boast scoring titles or defensive accolades, no one offers the same level of across-the-board contribution. Voters often talk about value, but this game gave them a live demonstration. Value isn't just production, it's responsibility, it's reliability, and Jokic delivered both without ever seeming to press. The Suns, despite throwing multiple defenders at him and switching schemes throughout the night, were unable to even slow the game down, let alone dictate its outcome. Every time they adjusted, Jokic had a counter. And while it's tempting to view this as a one-off, it fits a larger pattern. Jokic has quietly accumulated a string of performances that stretch conventional stat lines to their limits. This wasn't a fluke, it was a peak in a season full of steady climbs. His per-game averages already place him in rare company, but this night gave the season a centerpiece. His impact radiates outward, reshaping the responsibilities of everyone around him. This was more than a great game, it was a recalibration point for what the modern NBA superstar looks like. Jokic didn't just control the stat sheet, he showed that true greatness is about doing exactly what the game needs, when it needs it, at a level no one else can match.